handsome porn star you.
I had a commentator.
He would make a good porn star, wouldn't he? That mustache, holy shit. Handsome porn star you. No.
Ouch!
And we are back. I am Ronnie James Harris, and I'm joined by Jason William Laufenberg. We got a little bit of technical issues. It looks like the lights are a little bit in a weird way, but we'll be working on getting all that put back into place. How you doing, brother?
Good, yeah, we are back. It's been a little while, but yeah, we're on the main thing that we do the best, and that is smashing the shills. So we're going to be talking flat Earth. We're going to be going way back. We're going to be doing some time traveling tonight. It should be fun.
Yeah, definitely. And again, you know, I really don't want to cover this nonsense, but these guys keep, you know, bringing this nonsense up. So we've got to address it and show people exactly what's going on. We want to give our stance and defend ourselves. And again, what I'll say right now, I don't have too much to say. I want to get through this content, but generally what I'm going to keep saying is these people come out of nowhere. They come up with this stupid idea. They make this argument that's not mine, not Jason's. It's not what we share. And then they go and try to debunk the nonsense that they make up. Right? That's exactly what we've seen the entire time. You're going to see more of it tonight. And that's pretty much all I have to say. Other than that, just crazy. I got banned from Google today, from YouTube, Google, Chrome.
Say, how can you not talk about that, right?
I mean, I don't even care. I'll use Brave. You know, it's just nonsense. And you know, it's funny, if you search all this banning stuff, when you get banned and stuff, all you get is this nonsense Trump QAnon BS. Q. It's nonsense. You don't see anybody that's actually trying to fight or look for help to find people to share their truth. But whatever, yeah, Google Chrome. I went to sign out at some of my accounts to get ready for this account for tonight. And boom, they sent me to this page that says, you're not allowed on YouTube Chrome anymore. I'm done. So that's it. That was it. I don't want to bring it up anymore. We're going to keep moving forward. They can do anything that they want. They're never going to stop us. We're just going to keep fighting. That's it, bro.
Yeah, it just, I don't know. It ticks me off. I was pissed when you lost your Limitless Channel, 8 years, something you had it. We've got the vast majority of our timestamps, but comments and stuff like that are gone. So tonight we're going to be going back. One of the things that Q did is he played some of the very first things that we said about the map and model. Like, that's what we say now. In fact, we had that corrected within a couple of weeks of when we first said it. So like you said, everything that he does, he tries to stretch, manipulate, act like he's too stupid to understand. So he did like 3 videos directed towards us, calling us retards, doing all the diapers and all that kind of nasty stuff. And So he's acting like he's done something to somehow debunk the stereographic map, and we're going to show that every single time he's acting like he's done that he hasn't. We're going to show his roots. We're going to show that he's literally like the AE map and model guy. He made the map, and he might actually be being paid for every person that's got one. So we'll be going through a number of things. It should help people to see Q for who he is. Now, we have a history that goes back with him like 6 years. One of my very first hangouts that I did was with Q, right? The Flat Earth Photographers Hangout, one of the first things. So he was a camera guy, and that's the reason why we talk to each other, because he's always been gross and vile and really hard to stomach just to be around. And I apologize. I know Ronnie didn't really want to go through and cover this. We're probably going to give him way more views and attention than the content gets on his channel, because the only people that goes to Q's channel are heliocentrists and just really nasty, vile people. And so yeah, I don't know if is there anything else you want to go through?
Yeah, like I said, I was buddies with QNFee. He wasn't always disgusting and gross. He's done good content. He's even done decent content lately. That's what QNFee needs to do. But who am I? He can do whatever he wants. But as soon as you start making up nonsense and creating these fake arguments that aren't ours, start misrepresenting us, calling us liars, which we've never done, calling us shills, which we're not, we have to come out and defend ourselves. Now, do I want to do this? No, I'd rather make good content. That's what I want to do. But here we are. We're going to go through it. I got nothing against Q. He's at least fights against some of the nonsense. He debunks some good stuff. I'd like to see more of that. But tonight we're going to be going through all the nonsense that he makes up. You're going to see. But so there won't be a Rise and Grind tomorrow. I'm going to, most likely I'll be back for a Friday morning show. And like I said, I've been banned from Google, so I've got to switch all over to a different browser now. But that's the house cleaning I wanted to quickly say. And I don't have anything against Q. Me and him are cool, man. Q is an excellent grower. He's a gardener. He's very skilled. He can Photoshop. He can do things. He helped me with the map that we use for the sky. He helped me color the colors. And like you said, so what Q did was remastered the fake Flat Earth AE map and model. The Mordor or whatever from the England old age home. The one that was found in the Boston Library. Q touched all the colors up, spent a lot of time, and yes, he did give the map away for free, so we don't know for sure if he's actually making money. There's a possibility, but everybody that has the restored AE map with the red ring around it, where there's the little slide piece removed, if you zoom in, you're going to see he's tagged it. That's what he did. And he helped me with stuff. We were friends, and then all of a sudden, he just got super weird, and then started doing nonsense, and then he started doing all this nonsense, dirty diaper crap, projecting all this crazy stuff. And the only thing that really pisses me off, that he's got the balls to put in the video trying to call me some kind of faggot, but I guarantee you, if he was in front of my face right now, there wouldn't be any of those jokes going on, right? That's the only problem I have when people are projecting their own weirdness onto me. Right? That's the only thing that you guys have to attack us on. Try to say that I'm gay. Good luck. Good luck on that one. I'm not even going to say it. I'm going to stop myself right now before I go any further. But all I can say is, Q, man, we used to be buddies. But now you're out here calling me all these names, bro. And you wouldn't say any of this straight to my face. You're an internet tough guy. It's nonsense. Let's move past that. Let's get into your content.
All right. We'll kill the camera. Set up the share.
Ooh, it's hot.
It sure is.
I guess we should be pretty much good to go. Let's check and see if the audio works. You're on screen.
All right, so let me just test the audio quick. Let me know.
And we will change our...
It's
good. I'm just going to bring it up a little bit. But we are good to go with your presentation.
All right, so like I said, Q did 3 videos somewhat recently. This one premiered July 7th. Time travelers, all right? Hashtag Team Yahawahashai. He actually got this right. He calls us flat earth retards. So Q is not a genuine flat earther whatsoever. We'll be pointing that out. So this video right here, the whole beginning of it's the diapers and crap and all that kind of stuff. We'll skip past that and we'll get going with what Q has to say about us.
Because they can't play our words. When they do, they clip them, cut them, and distort the stuff.
Faggots. So Jake and Q and how long did that take?
Wow.
How long did that take, right? It didn't take long.
When they do, they clip them, cut them, and distort the stuff.
Faggots. So Jake and QNFee got together and they're talking about map wars.
We don't even understand our retarded, stupid map. He's going to show us how we're wrong.
We will destroy you.
So I hope you guys are ready. Do you have your popcorn? QNFee. Oh, boom. That was 2 in a row. Boom. 3. I hit all 3 shots. There you go, boys. Thank you for coming out.
All right. So they're just coming from the position that they've debunked everything. They debunked the globe. They've debunked the Freemason New World Order AE map and model.
Map and model. You mean the map, like the Cleasons?
No, map and model. Map and model. So 1, there's the map. 2, the map demands that the sun, moon, and stars be doing circles around a single polar point. So it's not just a map. You can change the map as much as you want. It's the fact that they're doing the circles. That's the problem there, Q.
I don't debunk that. I debunk the presented sky model. And
The what?
that's what I'm going to do with your tiny, shitty fucking map.
They've debunked the stereographic virtual reality. They've debunked concave Earth or crater Earth. So they're just throwing this other crazy shit out there and trying to lump in the stereographic virtual reality with it, so they absolutely straw man. They misrepresent, and so we're going to take a look at the section that they did covering us. It's small, it's so shilly, the people that are in the chat, everything about it, it stinks to high heaven. And so then that's not going to take us forever, and then we're going to go through some Sean Hawkins, where he covered one of our recent live stream.
Wow, holy fuck! Sean Hawkins! My favorite baller! I love Sean.
My favorite baller. All right, so what QNFee is showing right now is a daily motion channel. He's got a channel there that it's entirely dedicated. So this is QNFee. This entire thing is dedicated to Sean Hawkins. Do you see this? He's showing Sean Hawkins in a skirt. He actually doxes Sean Hawkins over here. The whole thing is pure Sean Hawkins. Now, watch the direction that Q takes it.
Sean Hawkins! Oh, he deserves the whole series. Flat Earth nut scratcher.
So he's doing a video supposedly debunking us, and then he points out that he's got this absolute obsession with Sean Hawkins, where he's dedicated a whole channel to it. And then he wants to play a clip from the Nut Scratcher. He doesn't even want to show the dress and all this other kind of stuff. He's just going to go Nut Scratcher, and he's going to play a whole bunch of Sean Hawkins here, like for minutes, about Nut Scratchers.
It's weird. It's weird.
Right? All right, so I'm going to skip ahead to us again. We don't.
Sean Hawkins, and we're going to talk about QNFee and Jake the asshole, right? Because he dropped the flat Earth part, but now apparently he's a flat Earth expert, and this is about laughing, bro. I'm going to laugh. I'm going to sit here. I'm not going to throw any more popcorn because I do have to clean it up. One more for each of you.
You can't hear? Hello, can you hear me? Can you hear me, Ronnie?
Is this live? Oh, what an annoying video.
Yeah, so
Oh, what is this nonsense on the screen? This is crazy nonsense. What does this have to do with the truth?
this is his debunk of us. He's got a clip, any dead air that we have.
That's it. Or when I make a mistake speaking a word, that's
Yeah.
funny to him. Like what? Last time I checked, that was something like public school kids think is funny.
Yahawahashai's daughter, that is one evil laugh. He loves it. He just plastered it all over the screen.
Oh, that's what that is. Okay, yeah, say whatever you want. It's free. Like I said, I got nothing against this guy. This stuff's just clownery to me.
It is. This is his big debunk so far. The Flat Earth Map Wars featuring QNFee.
We will destroy you.
So this is what Q does to debunk us right here. I just want to remind everybody we've got a history that goes all the way back with QNFee.
Oh yeah.
So he wants to point out this is a live stream that we did where this sign right here, on the other side of it, it says Flat Earth. It's designed to be directed just to the people in front of me. So when I flip this down, it says Awake Souls YouTube, read regularly. Flipped up, it says Flat Earth, flipped down. But from behind, it looks like I made my sign upside down. Well, it's designed to be seen from in front, not from behind. And so this is what Q thinks we have for history. We did a hangout on Flat Earth photography where we went through all the clouds behind the sun footage. Right, as I roped him into this. So Q is not a leader whatsoever. He's an absolute follower. I set up the hangout. Him and McCall from Flat Earth Photography were a part of it. But I did show some of his footage, and we went through clouds behind the sun. We went through things flying through the sun. We covered all that kind of stuff, and he doesn't want to talk about that. He thinks that making fun of the fact that the camera showed the back side of the sign and not the front side, that's hilarious to him.
Had some good times together. Remember you did some street activism and hold your sign upside down? And I made a video about it. Yeah, man. Good old times.
All the way back. We're showing everybody how the sun is local.
You call this local? With the...
All right. So what do we have here?
I can explain what we have on the screen. I know exactly what that is. I do.
Yeah, you want to start explaining this to us, brother?
So this is when we first got the stereographic map, and I was playing in Blender. This was 5 years ago. I made this up as a macro representation. It was never a real representation of the reality. I was showing how it was laid out in a macro large-scale view. As you can see, Awake Souls is the actual outer boundary areas. It's not even anything else. It's just a picture of a horizon that I've lined up behind the map. Now that's the equator and the tropics there. And I do have the 6 gates of Enoch, but what we really found out was that all of that is actually represented on a small local circle of sight. Enoch was actually describing your circle of sight from the horizon to the east over to the sun setting on the horizon on the west. He wasn't giving a description of the entire map. Now he does say that the sun runs a course throughout the earth and everything is hit by his light. Enoch talks about that. But so this was a representation that I was doing 5 years ago. This was the first thing we brought out when we said we found a new map. The first thing we brought out was the stereographic map. And we went on to tell people that we don't think that it's the correct way to explain it. We were just showing it as a macro, a large scale view. That's it. It was just a representation. It wasn't what we were saying as reality, because we, for 8 years, I don't know if that's exactly right, but I was showing people that there was clouds behind the sun. So if there's clouds behind the sun in my 3-mile circle of sight, that sun is not traveling above the equator on the equinox. The sun is above me in my small circle of sight. So for QNFee, again, he's created an argument using a misquoted video from like 6 years ago, 5 years ago, trying to state that that's what we're teaching, because he's made the false argument up against us. When we never used that, we showed people it was a macro view. The true reality is the Andrew Marsh website
that Jason has that shows the small circle of sight. We've been saying that over. QNFee's not going to clip that part because he's a dishonest coward. He's going to go and misrepresent something that we talked about 5 years ago and then sit here trying to act like he's debunked anything. You haven't debunked anything but except that you have to create a false argument, then try to debunk your own stupidity instead of actually understanding the things that we've been teaching.
All right, so check this out. From our very first hangout, here we are on Beyond Flat Earth again. And so our very first hangout was streamed January 18th, 2017. All right, so go from our first hangout, we scroll down here. We're looking for a map. We're looking for a map, looking for a map. And then we get to here. And this is, guess what? We show the map. And then this is where Q took this footage from, right? He takes it from this video right here. So like Ronnie said, he's working in Blender and trying to come up with a way to depict things. And for learning a program from scratch, right? And then importing these images and building all this and having the ability to control the camera and pan around. This was all absolutely brand new. And this is what he came up with. And it was cool. It was absolutely cool. We were like, yeah, not only do we have a map, now we actually have a way to 3D, work with it. So the original map was the C.S. Pierce 1894, and it looks like this. And we took the map and we took a Hotine map, which gives you this higher resolution, the color, but it's really the same layout. We had to rotate it to put it into the same position as this one. Now, when you go from us showing the map here, when was that? That was, so we went from January to April. All of a sudden we had a map. Now you go from this hangout to this one, and now all of a sudden things are much different. All right, so
get you to go back to your map.
In this one, this is probably the one that he took it from. So you're showing the modeling that we have right here. But if you listen to what's said and what this entire hangout is about, is how this could only be used as a macro view. And so let's go ahead and listen to this quick, because I think what he's going to do is he's just going to cut where we explain all that. So
map after, so people can see, because it's a really good representation.
So what this version does right here is it shows people the timing of the day. So the sun is not a physical gaseous ball, fusion, whatever, traveling along that line up in the sky, 3 miles high or 3,000 miles high or 93 million miles high. It's not that physical gaseous ball. What you're seeing here is as it moves across the map and the grid work right here, you're passing longitudes. And so this is the clock action of the model. That representation right there is saying when the sun rises.
Yep.
So the actual true depiction of what this is one day, a 24-hour time stretch of where the sun moves along its path. That's it. On a macro representation, it doesn't exist in reality, right? Because everyone above the red line here, they'll see the sun above their head. It's impossible. You can't be in Canada, right? Way north of the yellow line up there, right? You can't be in Canada and have the sun above your head if the sun was actually above the red line. That's what we're trying to explain. What in reality is, this is a snapshot of one day as the sun comes up from the east, where Australia is, and travels along the red line, which is the equator. Its path from one side to the other is 24 hours. That's all this is. That's it. That's the only thing that was.
And so this is a more modern way.
The prime meridian has been highlighted green. The tropics of Cancer and Capricorn.
Let me try to get the quality of this video to come back up. So each one of these are a circle of sight. So this is the sun traveling across the face of the earth as far as when sunrise starts, when sunrise,
Corn in yellow, the
sunsets.
equator in red, and believe it or not, the bound.
So with this plane, you can actually, I don't know if this section, yeah, here's the way the sun travels across the face of the
And
earth.
this was released. This was released in 2017 too, right?
Yeah.
Why? How come QNFee missed this part of the video? He didn't want to edit out this and show how we're explaining that it's all happening locally inside your own circle of sight.
He cut all that out and absolutely misrepresents what we're saying. So I just continue to say that we're not saying that the sun travels above. Like, so you had this 3D model and he just strawmans that. He cuts the words out. He doesn't play this representation. So then, as we'll just finish this
For a
section.
certain location and when the sun sets, when the moon rises and when the moon sets. But it's not a physical mass traveling up in the air over you like that. It's the way I showed you in my micro view of within your field of view, it rises, goes up and over.
So what I'm referring to is we went through, I did some SketchUp modeling, and that's what this hangout was about.
This is the part where I said, "Oh, I just feel like I ate some manna." Remember?
It comes from this. It does. And yeah, so each one of these circles the site. This was the best I was able to do it back then. We didn't have the Andrew Marsh site back then. So I literally drew it, copied it, placed it around here, and showed how the circles of sight would operate. You know, you can't see the next circle of sight. You can only see your own. Right? But the sun rises based on its latitude and longitude. It sets based on its latitude and longitude in your personal circle of sight. No sun traveling up above, no gaseous ball. And that was so super clear. But so now that you see where the stuff that he's taken from is, and the fact that we were actually explaining in it, you'll be able to clearly see how he's trying to twist what we've been saying.
Sun and moon traveling over the tropics and between the tropics.
We were showing everybody how the sun is local.
Oh,
That's all he played. He just clipped and said we were showing how the sun is local.
what the fuck is this? Your sun and moon must be like 10,000 kilometers up.
What is... Where is that video? No. It was...
Again, he completely misrepresents everything that we were saying. We literally just said the whole purpose of this hangout that he clipped from was us showing you that everything is local on the Andrew Marsh website that's now on the screen. This is what we've been saying. This is the only thing that you can actually test and verify and prove. Anyone else that brings you any evidence about anything about reality that shows you more than your 3-mile circle of sight is lying to you.
So, circle of sight, whatever distance it is, you can see to the horizon, be it 5 miles, 7 miles, 10 miles. Usually you're not going to see 20 miles or more because it takes super perfect like air quality conditions. Like if you go to the weather site, it'll usually tell you that 20 miles is your visibility, or 15 or 10. It's almost never going to tell you that you can see more than that, because you can't. So everything that we see is within our circle of sight. Now, if you're talking about 20 miles to the east and 20 miles to the west that you can see, the sun is rising from Earth and setting into Earth, be it land or water, in your circle of sight right around you. And we show all the evidence. It's in
in this video, but he doesn't want to cover any of that. What he wants to do is he wants to be a time traveler and go back to our oldest video and use our oldest graphics and act like that's what we've been saying.
Yeah, debunked, bro. You've been debunked, says QNFee. Absolutely no, bitch. You debunked your own stupid argument. Next.
Or more?
We were showing everybody how the sun is local. That's all he plays, in my words.
Oh, look! Can you tell me what is local on this?
Such a beautiful model, though.
He just wants to mock me.
That's it.
There, I've added the stars now. I gave everybody a star.
And you collect.
I mapped the stars around the observer. In this one, this is a different model that he's using now from the Enoch video, right? That's why he's trying to make fun of me and bring the Enoch thing in. When we've shown that bring the Andrew Marsh site back on, do you have it, or was that a clip from the video?
A clip from the video, but I'll pull it up quick.
Can you please? What I want to show everybody is that actually what we showed is that the Andrew Marsh site actually delineates the circle of sight into 6 gates itself. I didn't have to do any modeling. Okay, this website here that Andrew Marsh built actually shows you the 6 gates of Enoch. We showed that. We explicitly showed it. We even had one hangout where I started smashing the desk and screaming like a lunatic because I was so fed up with people not listening. And yet here is QNFee again, still doing the same nonsense. Okay, if you zoom in and show to the east or the west, doesn't matter for me. I don't care about where you are on the map.
I'm gonna put it by Q's place right now.
Okay, go there. It's flat there. We know he knows that it's flat. He lives in an absolute flat place. So if we zoom in on either the east or the west, you know what? If we could just sit down and smoke some trees with Q in real life, I bet you none of this nonsense would happen. So you're absolutely nowhere near I want you to be. I want you to be either at the east or at the west. With the, you've got the wrong time of year for me to show the gates. So the yellow lines here, I wanted to show people the exact reason why this is what we've been showing people. When you want to look at the book of Enoch, when Enoch was teaching about the sun's rising and setting, he said it has 6 gates. If you zoom in on that, you can count the sun traveling now between 6 different spots here. A gate, a portal or a port is an area that a boat would travel through. Okay, there's 6 of them there. That's a year.
Right, so you can see the sunrise here. When it comes up, it's casting the shadow long. It's getting shorter. Every single part of this is absolutely measurable. Now, like Ronnie was saying, right here, we're just coming past the 4th gate.
Gate
so
3.
Each day is a tick here, and there's 30 of them. And then you get to another one of these dotted lines.
That's in the second gate. And the first and the 6th gates are only half the size because the sun goes half the way through the gate, then it turns about its face exactly the way Enoch said and travels back the other direction. And the book of Enoch is like 4,000, 5,000 years old.
Yep. So it goes 15 days out and 15 days back, works its way through.
And if you take a snapshot, right? Once a month or once a week, or you can do it in intervals of once a day at midday, you will actually form the figure 8 in the sky, which is called the analemma. That's a snapshot of the sun's position. There's nothing special going on about it. Once a day at midday or once a week at midday on the same day, you can get that same pattern as Jason's now rotating it up. It goes through a figure 8. You'll see the oblateness of its path because in the southern part of the sky, it has a fatter loop to the figure 8 shape here. And again, the sun doesn't literally do this 8 pattern in the sky. Again, it's a time-lapse motion here. It's a snapshot every day of the sun's highest midday point position in the sky. And when you stitch them together, you get a figure 8. That is what the analemma is.
Here's the 6 gates. Here's the analemma. This is the type of stuff we talk about, not the...
If you want to go back to this that I made 6 years ago in Blender, right? And you want to mock me for making something in Blender, go ahead. But we've shown people over and over again the actual truth of reality and how you can test it for yourself. Go ahead.
Play local.
Exactly like what we see in the sky.
Yeah, exactly what we see in the sky.
He clipped that out of place. Out of place.
place.
Nonsense.
Every
Red
time.
flag, man. Red flag. Come on. Why can't he play just something just honest? Oh.
So, and jump ahead here.
But it's even impossible to have east and west on your map.
East and west. He acts like he's too stupid to understand this. If you're right here on the prime meridian and you want to go east, you're going to be following the red line this way. If you want to go west, you're going to be going this way. That's not hard to understand. He's a Freemason New World Order AE mappa modeler. He understands east and west on curved lines.
According to your own bullshit.
Right? Because then this way becomes south, this way becomes south. So Q has put this up, and he does nothing to actually follow the lines of longitude, which is how a stereographic map works. You have to. It's a coordinate system. You can't just draw these straight lines out like this. They mean nothing. All directions become south from this point right here.
You are telling us from the North Pole in any direction is south.
Yes, any direction is south. If you follow one of these lines right here, you will be going south, and you will come to the south polar point.
Looks like your map have 6 portals in the south. And
No, we showed where the portals are. They're in your circle of sight.
So hang on.
And go ahead.
Yeah, is that his next debunk? So he thinks that there's 6 portals in the sky here, and we just showed, like Jason said on the Andrew Marsh site, that's where your 6 portals are. It has nothing to do with anything that he's making a false argument of that's not ours.
And nobody's ever going to ever be able to see this, because the highest that you can go is like 120,000 feet. It means that the largest circle of sight that you can have is, I don't know, something
All blurry. You can't see anything up that high anyways.
a couple 100 miles tops.
6 portals in the south.
He's laughing at something he made up.
Look. Oh, this must be the equinox. Because the sun is traveling over the equator. Oh, you're using your old map here.
No, you're using it.
I see.
Ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, it's like we showed. If you go to Beyond Flat Earth, right? Let's go back here. Go from our very first hangout. Here we finally have a map. A couple of months later, and maybe like another month or so, and we're already showing it in each person's circle of sight. So he's
Scroll a bit more. Scroll a bit more. You don't have it on screen.
Oh,
thank you. And yeah, that's better.
Yeah. So he's time traveling by going back to our oldest stuff. So let's go ahead and do a little time travel with Q and go back to his oldest stuff and see how he likes that. So his first video on his channel, he talked in the title, it says clouds behind our sun and moon ? All right, that's his first video. My first video has clouds behind the sun as well. He did come out with this just a tad earlier than I did. He beat you by just a little bit, so disappointing that the timestamps are gone. But the thing is if you actually look at this, he says it in the title. He says it in the title, but there's people in the chat that are saying it. He doesn't even acknowledge it. He doesn't really acknowledge it at all. And and then you go a couple more videos, and then what do you have? You have the Gleason's Flat Earth Map Restoration plus download. And let's check this out here. Oh, it's not the right video. There's another one. Where's that at? Let's try this one. So he's not talking. He says, I restored the Gleason's map. I removed the ugly latitude thing and made thousands of overlays to remove the damaged parts. It cost me weeks and I did it for free. I never ever ask for money, and I don't make money with my channel. So his first thing is he makes no money, but he did all this work. He did it for free, right?
In his defense, he may have.
I'm your density.
I don't know. I don't know if he got paid for this map. We don't know. We don't have any evidence of it.
Yeah, so this is horrible quality. Absolutely horrible quality. And you can look at it on his site. You can see that his lettering is clean, but these maps are so blurry and so distorted. They're not usable. The only thing that you can tell it's different is that the stick's been removed, and this one, the contrast has been turned up. That's it. The rest of it's so super blurry. Well, let's go back and so he takes us to Amazon. So here the Gleason's map is being sold. You get the Gleason's new standard map of the world, large 24-inch by 36-inch. Offer includes a free Zetetic Astronomy by Samuel Robotham ebook. You don't get the actual book. So they're giving away a PDF of Zetetic Astronomy. So this is Freemason astronomy. This is all about the fake flat Earth. You buy the map and you get a free PDF of Zetetic Astronomy. You got the firmament. You've got, what's that? Zen Garcia, Eric DeBay. Look at what, yeah. Look at who shows up here. You got Zen. You got Eric DeBay, Zen. So there you have it. Everybody that's got this fake flat Earth, the New World Order AE map model, everyone that's got this bright one on their wall, it has QNFee on it. All right. It's his. He made it. All right, so he says you can download the map from the download link. Now, I went through all of this. There's no download links. Everybody's asked for it. There's no download links. You can't download it. You actually have to go buy it because there's no download links. They don't work. So this right here, in my opinion, when he says that he does everything for free, he doesn't make no money, he's a liar. He's a shill. And he probably is the guy that is getting paid for every single one of the fake flat earthers that have this map on the wall. All right, so
Well, I mean, I'm not going to deny that that's a possibility, right? Because he restored it. And I know Monograph was teaching me a bunch of ways that you can actually verify anything online with a picture. You can always take it back to its original stamp. The footprints are there. You just have to know how to get them. And Q is a supposed hacker, right? He's a big hacker. So I mean, that's the accusation that you bring forth. Now it's a supposition, speculation, but we bring it to the table. Why is it that he's constantly mocking and making fun of us when all we do is destroy falsehoods? That's all we've ever wanted to do. And we've been wrong, and we've come out and corrected ourselves. So instead of him coming, hey, you guys, check this out, your map, it doesn't work this way, we could say, actually, dude, you're misrepresenting it. It actually is a coordinate system. You can't draw the lines like that. We could get so much further ahead.
right.
So, but the evidence leads us to believe that there's some kind of monetary gain for him as to why he would try to stop us. Because we don't have any stakes in the game. We don't care what Q does. I don't care what he puts on his channel. If I don't want to watch it, I won't click on it. I don't very often. Because all he does is make fun of me now. Right? He doesn't do good content, and the odd time he does. He ripped apart someone a couple videos ago. So I'll leave it there. I'm rambling.
So all he's doing is strongman attacking this very first Blender render that Ronnie had done.
That hasn't debunked. Yeah, no debunk there, Q. Next.
This looks like a dome
The
with
dome.
stars in it.
We were showing everybody how the sun is local, how you can see clouds behind the sun. And he kept on saying, 2 suns, multiple suns, sun speed, multiple suns.
So Moron, when you start to apply the data on your own map and tell me you can have 1 sun? Retard?
Misrepresented.
No. It's all in the video right here. The stereographic virtual reality explain how
Wait
it
a
only
minute.
works.
Wait a minute. What's that video? Hold on. Pause. DJ, hold that record. Wait. We've been talking about maps and models now for like a month with these shills, right? How come nobody on their team has brought up this video once? Not even a snippet from it. And which is interesting to point out here for anyone that's keeping track of anything, all these stupid shill attack videos came out after your video dropped, which is an excellent video for anybody of all ages. You can watch that video. Jason's done an excellent job explaining everything with specific details down to the borders and everything. Thank you for bringing this up. I'll give it the bell ringer of the night. This is the elephant in the room that nobody wants to talk about. All this nonsense, shillery, mockery that these guys are trying to do against us is after Jason brought this out. But you won't see Jake the asshole. You're not going to see him bring this up. You're not going to see Q bring this up. You won't even see that Sean Hawkins guy. He won't bring this up either. So I submit this again to the audience as evidence that this here is the reason that these shills are trying to mock and make fun of us and come up with retarded false accusations that they create and then debunk themselves.
Yeah, so within this video, he's saying, how can you have those different sun speeds with one sun? Well, because every person sees one sun, and based on your latitude and the time of year. So here we're looking at a winter solstice at 30 degrees north, and you can see that there's 10 hours, 13 minutes of daylight. That's the length of time that it takes for the sun to go around this shorter circle. Now, if you jump to another section where where would we look here? Now all of a sudden, we've got a day where it's 13 hours, 13 minutes right here of daylight. That's one of the, as we're in this time period here, you can see that yellow ring, the path that the sun can travel within, it's got a larger circle right now. It's not, if it was down here, you would have the short day. If it's back here, you've got the long day. There's all your different sun speeds right there. 15 degrees per hour, but based on the amount of sun path that there is, right? Some parts of the year you have a longer path. Some parts of the year you have a shorter path, especially at the latitudes, the farther and farther you get away from the equator. If you We go to the Andrew Marsh and we take this up way north. All right, look at this path here. If we take this to, let's see here. All right, look at our daylight here, 18 hours, 56 minutes. All right, it's because it's taking this big, long path. Now, what do you think if we go to the winter solstice? What's that going to look like? Now, suddenly we have 5 hours and 38 minutes of daylight. Look at the difference here. Still rotating 15 degrees per hour. Same rotation speed. Much shorter path.
Wait a minute. Did you just debunk QNFee's quandary of how the sun speeds work in reality? Did you just explain it like to a child?
Just like that. Just like that. That's simple. That quick.
Hope that didn't hurt, Q.
You want to see a long day? Here's a long day.
Show us a long day, everybody. Pay attention. Come closer to the fire if you're cold.
Watch your sunrise here.
Here we go. Look at that slant.
Extreme northeast.
Extreme,
right?
yeah. Look at that. You're gonna. Boom.
You have this low slope.
Yes.
We've got all the shadow angles.
Looks like Toronto, man. That's how I remember the sun used to be that low in the sky. In Texas, it's never that low.
No, this is accurate to the 100th of a degree per second.
Of a degree per second. You guys understand that? You can go out anytime, any day with this program and a compass and a sextant if you want to learn how to read other objects in the sky. And you can match and track this software, and it is, Jason just said it. What did you say it was within?
100th of a degree per second.
100th of a degree per second. Oh, clip that, QNFE. I stumbled on my words. You know, sometimes I stammer with my words. It's kind of funny. It reminds me when I was a kid. But yeah, this is an excellent representation of what we've been showing people. This is the only thing that you can actually debate anyone in the realm on this point here, and you will win. They can't I'm stumbling. They can't debunk this.
Here's your azimuth. Here's your altitude. Watch
I get all excited. I love investigating reality, you guys. Like, what more are we supposed to do here? You know, worry about your 9-to-5 job? Right?
So look at this. You can say at 10:50.
There, it gives you the azimuth and everything. 4803.
Or
is it?
Well, look. Here's your latitude. Here's your longitude.
Can you zoom out a little bit? Hit the command minus. A couple clicks. It didn't give us. That didn't work.
Bring this up a little bit.
You're cropping. Do I have to do it manually? You're cropping part of the screen off. Let me see here. Do I have you locked? I'll make it work.
Should be a little better.
I got it. It's on the screen now. I just had to do a crop switch. So you can see here, it's date, July 12th, 2022. The time, he's now scrolling across there. That gives you the time, the date, and the actual sun's position that you can go out and actually check anywhere in the realm. And guess what this modeling program is on? It's not on a globe. It's on a flat plane, everybody. Yeah, come on.
Should be pretty obvious. Look at that.
Come on, sit down with us. Let us show you what we found. This is what the truth is. It's not always about all this other nonsense. Okay, and you can put this on any city, on any place in the map. And you can make any map over here. You can put our map here on the left if you do the coding. You can click on anywhere you want. You're going to get the same results. And it matches reality, and it has the 6 gates. It has the rising and setting of the sun. It has everything that it needs right there.
All right.
That is our model. Hold on. I just want to point that out one more time. That is our model of reality. Okay?
Yep. This one. Circle of sight. Local. That is what we are all about.
We share, like this map. This is an old one. Jason was showing the progression.
And stop fucking crying and telling me I used the wrong map. It's the same map, idiots. But
no, it's an old one, so we know that what you're doing is you're time traveling. You're going back to our very oldest content to use this. So the fact that you're pulling this out of a video that we have this old map in means that you're going back to the old stuff. You're not showing the stuff that's current. Right? Here's the way the map looks currently. It shows you the circle of sight. It shows how day progresses across the earth. It shows each one of the latitude lines, how you have longitudes, how you have 24 of them coming into the North Pole, and how you have 12 coming into one side in the south and 12 coming in to the other side in the south. All right, so if you were using something like this, we would know that you were covering something current, not
why didn't you show
oldest
that
content.
Why didn't you show this, Q? Are you listening right now, bro? Come on now. If you were honest, if you were an honest person that actually gave a damn, you'd put this up on the screen and then try to debunk it. Look at it, Q. Open your eyes. Stop being such a whatever it is that you got wrong in your head. Start actually understanding it with us. Right? That's your option to do. I don't care what you do, bro. I'm going to continue on my path as strong as I can, but it's obviously easy to understand. The boundaries are the boundaries, right? Any kid could understand. Draw a line, Timmy, on the right side of the map. And where are you going to come out on the other side of the map if you draw a line there, Timmy? Timmy's going to know, oh, if I'm on this top yellow line, I'm going to come out at the other side on the top yellow line. It's that basic. But you got these guys like Jake the Asshole and QNFee coming out here acting all retarded like they don't understand it, or this is too far-fetched. But they want you to believe you live on a dome, on a pizza pie, flying through infinite space, or that there's an outer pond with another sun circling and another pond, when we've already mapped out the Earth. The sailors that made the map that we used first, the C.S. Pierce, or was it Lewis? Pierce, the C.S. Pierce. I got it right. They mapped it out by sailing around everybody. They've had sailboats before the New World Order was able to clamp everything down. We know the boundaries are set. You can't go. There's hidden islands all over the map. They've got lots of gravy spots that they go to that the Goyim aren't allowed to visit. I'm not saying that's not true, but this is so simple. Why we have to have all these arguments with these people making up these stupid arguments against us? We're just showing you, hey, guess what? This map right here also works as a sphere. For anybody that still wants to cling on to your globular belief, here's your map too. That's all we're saying. That's it. It's simple. Cut that, Q.
One of the things is, if you believe that you live on a globe, you'd be a fool not to be using a stereographic map.
Yeah, but there's no curvature and water can't conform to a sphere. That's the problem, and that's why we came out with this map.
But let me add this piece of water. So, are you satisfied now?
To explain that it does it exactly like we represent here.
Okay.
Coming around in a person's circle of sight.
The only time you'll ever witness it traveling over the equator is if you're there. So we also tell people that the sun is personal centric. So we say that all the luminaries, everything that's light, rainbows, all that stuff, the sun, the moon, and all the stars, we have like a Google glasses on, and we can see the luminaries and the stuff in the sky, but they're not actually there. It's all a virtual realm, we've been saying. And we can understand it using that analogy. You can clip that if you want. I'm pretty sure it's basic, right? When you look at the sky, you're getting everything is an illusion. Right down to you think things before they happen by 10 seconds. Your brain has already come up with a response, and stuff that's happening in the future and the past. There's so many things that we need to get into and explain more in depth when we get away from this nonsense of people calling us shills without evidence.
Yeah, so if you actually go through the video and watch it, you can actually see the circles of sight in action, where you get sunrise, you got your solar noon, you got your sunset, and you can see how it progresses across the face of Earth. That's how we show it. He's going back, playing this old stuff, straw manning it. It makes him look bad and incompetent.
Let's follow these latitude lines. 90 degrees east sunrise, 270 degrees west sunset. So how can you talk about a local sun?
I mean, you just showed it.
Local sun.
Oh no, he didn't
What?
show it. He didn't show it. The circle of sight that you just had on the screen explains
Right.
how this works. Not this. This is basically what people have adapted. So they learned how to tear apart the sphere, the globe Earth model, right? Everybody figured that out. So they misrepresent something. QNFee has brought in an ad hoc debunk of the map by drawing these straight lines on a coordinate system map.
Like
you understand that,
like you can see from Seattle to Paris.
So when I say it's a coordinate system map, I can make it sound really basic here. So the distances between all of those 24 lines going up and down is the same. It's equal. It's equal. So if you have an area that it looks really wide between two of those lines, it's still only 15 degrees of separation.
I'm going to grab something to drink and be right back.
Does people understand that? Right? So the little squares, the little triangles at the bottom, where the bottom celestial pole or whatever you want to call it is split into two, those shapes are the exact same sizes that the other ones are, right? You got to understand that it's a coordinate system. You measure from the line to your actual location on the map to figure out where you are. You have to find out where your longitude and latitude is. Those are the lines going up and down. Latitude works easy to remember if you think of it like a ladder. The rungs of a ladder, right, is the latitudes. They're the ones that are going east-west, right? And the longitudes are going north-south, up-down. So the distances, how to use a coordinate system, is you have to measure your local position, and you have to triangulate using the lines of latitude and longitude. It's very basic. So if you get in between each of these lines, it's the same distance. So if it's stretched or skewed, they've done that so that they could least distort the map. That's what the creators of the map said, not me. Jason and I we aligned it the same way that they had the original map from the 1800s, because it was easy to see like this. Anytime you twist it or rotate it any other way, your mind has an error looking at it. So another thing about maps that nobody's bringing up in this whole map and everybody's trying to take out maps, is they have different maps to help people at different intellectual positions. Right? The AE map and model that QNFee restored is actually just a squished globe projection. Right? They say there's no Antarctica stretched out to the outside because they've skewed it, right, so that they can squish the globe. And the way that it still works as a time clock is the equator still works as the sun would theoretically, again with QNFee's debunker, his pro for the AE map and model, it's again theoretical. So the whole problem with the whole sun thing is that anybody that has eyes or a camera, you actually have your own local position to the sun. And you can prove this by setting a camera up on the beach and walking away, and you'll have the sun follow you as you walk down the beach straight across the water to you. Yet the camera that you leave pointed at the sun will always have the sun directly pointed at it. So what we're saying is that we're in a virtual reality where it's actually you-centric. Like you're in your own reality. Things happen specifically just for you and every single other observer in the game, including a camera. All these things work together. And I'm just going to stop. I'm way too ranty.
Here he is with Jake now, and they're going to debunk our map, right? So this is from Jake the asshole. He was Flat Earth asshole back then, because this is 4 years ago. Right, this is on the video part 2, sunrise and set angles destroy flat earth, AE model Jeranism exposed. And so here's Jake 4 years ago, everybody. I agreed the AE map is bunk, and I just said so on my Facebook page a few days ago. Would you mind if I used a few clips from this video so I can dismantle the AE map on my channel? All right, so understand that he learned how the AE map model doesn't work from us. From us. All right, we're the ones that taught him. He had to ask if he could use some of the information that we were sharing. And so the same is true with Q2.
And you're lying again? You started to make those videos 4 years ago? Maximum 5 years ago?
No, see, I don't have them all published right now because YouTube won't show them all. If you have too many videos published, you can't get to them, you can't see them. So I just have some of the important ones highlighted right now. But what was it called? I had a series, the Definitive Proof series.
and it was focused on debunking the AE map and model. Ronnie and I, our very first hangout was because both of us were against the AE map and model. Everything on Beyond Flat Earth has been anti the AE map and model. So he can't say that we're lying. That is our roots. Our very first hangout, the very first time we talked, we were already against the AE map and model.
Oh look, this is from the July the 1st, 2016. Back then it was already the final nail in the shrinking sun's coffin for me.
Oh, so now all of a sudden, Q is going to fight for his timestamp that he's debunked the AE map and model, yet he's the guy that released the Gleason's map. All right, we can't prove that he's the guy that's getting paid for it, but we can prove that he is the guy that released it.
Yeah, he restored it.
And it is the one that people have on their walls. It's the one that's sold on Amazon. We can prove that.
So most of those so-called map debunks you stole from me and never...
No. We created so many map debunks that you had never even contemplated. You learned them from us. The first hangout that I did, all right, this Flat Earth Photographers one, all right, Q, you were the pupil here. You weren't talking about nothing. So
it's fine. We don't have to measure each other up like this. Let's talk about his debunks that are not debunks. That's what I care about.
Well, and he still supports the AE map and model. You're going to see.
Yeah, he does. Completely.
Give credit for it.
I used his supposed debunks, but I didn't give him any credit. I've been trying to just ignore this guy, and he learned that the AE map and model doesn't work from us.
I can't remember saying the map was wrong. The way they model up the sky is wrong. And the way you model it up is totally wrong.
The way we model it up is totally wrong.
Yeah, the Andrew Marsh site.
We can actually go to any location.
Let's have a look, Q. What are you talking about?
All right, what day of the year do you want to look at, Q? Do you want to look at today's?
Nah, he wants to pull up our map and misrepresent it and say we're wrong. Debunked. Let's throw a dirty diaper at us or something. That's what he thinks is cool.
This is the way the sun rose, set, every single part of the sun's path around the observer right here. There you go, Q.
Because your sun also travels over the equator and then automatically shrinks when it moves away.
No. So for them to come in and try to overstand us like they know something about maps and what works and what doesn't work is ridiculous. That's north. All right, this over here is not northeast.
How many times we've explained that to people? So what they're doing here, I want to explain to people, this is a shill technique called mocking the victim.
All right, so I'm going to skip ahead here.
Can you morons tell?
It's so he's put these souths up here.
Don't actually make any sense.
Makes no sense. This would be west, this would be east. Now this right here is north, so this south does work and this south does work in this situation here. All right, but this would be a west, this would be an east. And this way becomes south, this way becomes south. All directions become south from this point right here.
Can you morons tell us how we orientate the map? Like this, to the north? That's impossible. Just as impossible if you claim there is a north and in each direction is south. You cannot orientate a map like this.
Why can't we? It's orientated. What are you talking about,
East.
bro? What's he talking about? It's orientated.
North, the south poles, we showed where they are.
Yeah. And guess what? You can't even go and investigate it. They won't let us. You're not allowed to go into that north area. Right? But everybody wants to go to the South Pole. Flat Earthers are obsessed with the South Pole. Right?
So he tries another bad argument.
So we
here.
measure from the North Pole.
So now he's swinging around the North Pole All right. That's not how this is represented whatsoever. All right. You don't, the sun doesn't travel around the North Pole like this.
Oh, yeah, right.
So he's got this compass lined up correct right now. All right. So this would be north. This would be west, that would be east. But keep in mind, you would be on a local scale that you can see 20 miles to the west, 20 miles to the east, tops.
I can't.
So you can see.
That's like the Gleason's map. And since it's an equinox and the sunrise is 90 degrees east, you shouldn't have to do circles also. Do you see?
He does all this when you have a video like this.
It shows exactly. Show him.
This is on an equinox. All right, each circle of sight, the rise and set to the sun, 90 degrees east, 270 degrees west, across the whole face of Earth. It's very, very clear. You don't. There's no sun swinging around a polar point. You're stuck in fake flat Earth world.
See that, idiot? So let's say on the equinox, the sunrise is east. That would be here with this location.
No, you don't swing an arc like the Gleason's map. All right, I could show you over and over and over again the local circle of sight.
If
So
you
he's
measure from the
strawmanning,
center, like
and then he goes
The
to
light of his rays.
Yeah, that
because
5-year-old video
5-year-old video.
showing the macro.
So he doesn't do anything to. He shows that when we were showing the macro originally, that it could be conflated wrong. Even though with our words, we were explaining that this was all happening in our personal circle of sight. So I think around here, he's going to also now start supporting his Freemason map again.
And then they say it's retarded. That's because you guys misrepresented the map. It's a coordinate map, coordinate system. It's not done the same way that they try to misrepresent it.
And what do you think of the Gleasons? This is a way better coordinate map than your retard fantasy map.
This is way better, huh? The one that he says that he debunked, and that he was the leader in debunking. He said that this is better. Or what's the problem with this? Well, one, it's not equidistant. All right, so you've got Australia being wider than the United States. Look at the United States here. Tiny, tiny, tiny. So where's the scale on this map, Q? Show us the scale. Show us the scale where you put a line from here to here and take that and put that over here.
Man, he's not going to do that. He's not going to do that. No.
This isn't equidistant. This is non-equidistant. And it stretches Antarctica
to infinity.
Like a 60,000 mile ice ring when they do sailboat races around it, and it's a 14,000 mile race.
Well, he's not going to talk about any of these things. He's going to misrepresent again. My supposition is because of the video that you made. That's when they showed up.
And do you hear me? I talk about the map. I don't talk about the sun, moon, or stars. You understand that?
No, you can't do that. You say that this is a map, then how does the sun travel the equator, you dumbass? You can't weasel your way out of it.
And he says that this is the map to track the sun, he says, right?
Yes.
You're still learning too why people can't just take the time, watch Jason's video. Might have to watch it 20 times. Jason, how many times did you watch it? 1,000? Over and over and over again. We're just showing you what we found.
If we're wrong on anything, show us and we will change our stance.
So you take a sighting of where, so then he's got to go back to playing just this one clip of this animation from 5 years ago, which like a month later, we were showing this within a personal circle of sight. All right, that's literally all he's got. So he's got 2 other videos. We're already at 923. They're all basically the same. He just
Same stupid argument.
the same stupid argument. And in this video, he thinks that because he can wrap other maps and have them look a little bit prettier, that somehow he's got a better version. Watch.
He pulled the Tim Osmond trick, right?
Oh, and he once again, he goes to his Gleasons.
He just doesn't understand the difference between a stereographic and the maps that he's trying to use. They're different. You know, I don't even understand why, instead of just, you know, making stuff up and coming up with these crazy arguments, why don't people just talk like men? So, okay,
They can't.
here it is. Well, he can. We've had conversations with him before many times. Last time we were on a live stream with him, I told him to smarten up. And I'm sure he remembers. And he did for a while, but then, nah. After your video came out, he started all his nonsense again. Making fun of you because he doesn't understand how your sign worked. Right? Oh,
Yeah.
Really funny. We're men here. It's about the truth.
So here's another section in one of the videos.
Everywhere is out, you say? Well, this is no different on your map, of course, idiot.
I don't understand why he thinks this.
Yeah, everywhere is out.
No, not everywhere.
That's your word.
All right, so let's take a look at this. If you can see here, this would be like Cape Town, South Africa. I'm going to show you just how simple this is, everybody. He's going to act like, oh, this is south over here, but watch this. So we're going to go to Cape Town. We'll put our cursor down there. Now all of a sudden we got to flip around, and well, we want to look south. All right, so here's the way it looks in your circle of sight. Try to get this to a size that you know are going to be able to see good. And so if we run the time here, you've got your sunrise. Right, it's coming up here. You got your noon. You got your sunset. If you're down here and you're looking south, right, you can only see that 20 miles to the horizon that you can see. And so you're going to actually be looking at this. If you were to project a point up from this, the plane of this right here, project a point up, that's going to be pointing at sigma octans. That's going to be where you're going to see the stars rotating clockwise around a single polar point in the sky. Now, if you go up north, we're back up north here. Now, all of a sudden, I'll show you daylight again. So here we are looking south. If you want to see where the North Pole is, from this plane right here, you just project a line up. That's gonna be your North Pole, Polaris. I can't get unclicked from that. Right up there in your circle of sight. Now this all takes place within that roughly 20 miles that people can possibly see. That's it. The whole action, the rise to set, every single star, all the luminaries going around the observer in your circle of sight. Where the sun is at solar noon, well, it's above this location at this certain time, and it takes 24 hours for it to follow a path between the tropics. There we go.
Or maybe I'm deaf.
All right, because then this way becomes south, this way becomes south, all directions become south from this point right here. All directions become south from this point right here. Right. But when you look south, you can actually see the same type of star trail that you would see when you look north. So observe the problem here. All right, so this is the debunk of the Freemason New World Order AE map model. It would be impossible for the stars, if they're just doing circles like this, to have the type of rotations that we have in our circle of sight.
absolutely impossible. We've demonstrated and showed this so many different ways, so many different views. The sun speeds. So Q is aware of this. All right. So if the sun's going around the Tropic of Capricorn, guess what? It would have to be just flying around here, and it'd be have to be going super slow here. Now the problem is that if the sun is flying around here, that means that the days would be shorter. When the sun is at the Tropic of Capricorn, it's the longest days of the year. When we're showing here from the Andrew Marsh and all over this place that when it's at the Tropic of Capricorn, the people in the south have their long days, the 13, 14, 15-hour days. Right? The sun can't be cruising super fast to get it all, because remember, it has to get back to its starting point in 24 hours. Can't spend 15 hours here, 15 hours here, 15 hours here, 15 hours here, right? It's got to get back around in 24 hours. So there's just myriads and myriads of ways to debunk the Freemason New World Order AE map and model, and he actually sits around and tries to defend it. I don't know that there's too much more that we need to go through. It's all basically the same nonsense. It's made up.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you. And, you know, I have to turn the fan off. It's such a bad noise. I'm sorry, everybody, but we have to keep the temperature at a certain point in here. The computers will melt. But people in the chat with, you know, with this flat earth stigma guy, I asked him how far we can see a lot further in the sky. Well, you know, I'm getting real sick and tired of people with their hasty generalization fallacies. I'm tired of them. Anytime I see anybody coming up with their non-descriptive nonsense, I'm going to call you out as being a hasty generalization fallacer. Stop with that stuff. You can only see like what? At a decent elevation, 6 miles. 10-mile buildings. If you have a good flat distance and a decent sized building, 10 miles is the furthest that Jason has really filmed and tested the clarity of a building. I filmed a little bit further in Toronto because the CN Tower is a really good observation to use because it's tall. Right? So we've been talking about how far you can see. You can only really see 50 miles. Everything pixelates out. It becomes despotized on a small scale, gray and fuzzy. We've been talking about the reasons why you're in a simulation is because if things were real, if we were in a real realm, you'd be able to drill in. But what we find is whether we drill out or we drill in on anything, it becomes fuzzy. You think weird things start happening. And what we have is quantum mechanics came out and started saying that, oh, all this spooky action has taken place. So they were trying to come up with a nonsensical Kabbalistic reality. And what we tell you is that there's a reason why these parameters have been set that way. Jason, what is about your 10-mile? Yeah, 10-mile visibility conditions.
Yeah, so when you start to talk about being able to see way farther, just go to your local weather and see what the
Flat
they
earthers.
say.
You're gonna, Jason and me are gonna come and ask you what's the furthest thing you've ever seen. You're gonna tell us 20 miles. I can see 20 miles right now. We're gonna tell you, okay, go outside and take a picture of it. And you're not gonna have the evidence of it because they tell you right here you can only see 10 miles today, and that's a clear day, right? What we've also shown in the Mall Angel video, Jason had you can find out how perspective works. You have your circle of sight. Generally, at 3 miles, your horizon meets your sky. And everything that goes beyond that point becomes truncated from the bottom up. That's how it works in a flat earth modeling program, as well as in this flat mall floor. This is another thing that nobody wants to talk about. Shill Sean Hawkins, Shill Jake the Asshole, or Shill QNFee. Why don't we talk about how this perspective works here? How exactly the same thing we see as a boat sails away happens here in a mall. Why don't we talk about that? The double sunsets. There's so many different things that we should be talking about, not this other nonsense, them trying to make up stupid arguments and everybody else with their, you know, generalization fallacies. Let's be men here.
So here's a great example. Here's from the mall
Angel video. 24.61 miles was the distance from where I was recording to downtown Austin, and it was perfectly lined up for the shot.
Now we're using a drone shot.
All right. There's big buildings in downtown Austin, things that they call skyscrapers. They're not like New York City skyscrapers, but they're pretty big. And guess what? You can't see them even when you go up to 1,600 feet. All right. You can't see downtown Austin from here. You would see a bunch of buildings along the skyline here. You can't. That's 24 miles. All right, so there's so many different ways we can look at this. We showed not too long ago that the farthest distance record that we've seen, I might even have the tab open still, and over here, let's see.
Ridiculous. That's what he likes. If you guys like him, you can go watch his channel. I don't tell anybody to do anything. I don't want to control anybody. I just wish he would actually use the correct representations of what we share, not his own nonsense, made up nonsense.
I'd have to find it again, but what
it doesn't
I had
matter.
Before,
Let's keep moving. Or we're on now. We're done. There's not much more to talk about.
This is what we had shown before, is that from this point, some shill had done a video, Mount Adams Yakima viewpoint, that what you can see is Mount Rainier, and I think it was Mount Adams. Here's Mount Adams, here's Mount Rainier.
That was the furthest one.
So you can actually see these two mountains. One's like 62, one's like 63 miles from this viewpoint. And that is the record that we've come across. The next closest to that was somebody that said
it was in Toronto, I think.
Yeah, that was about a 50-mile one.
50 mile.
There's another one down here where this island out here, San Clemente,
huh?
It's just far enough that from...
Oh, yeah, I remember this one.
Yeah, from one of the beaches along here, around, was it maybe San
Laguna?
Clemente?
Okay.
Let's do a measurement here. Oh, this is about 60 miles here. So there was a video that we saw where it was super fuzzy, but
Super
you could
grainy.
you could see this island here. You could tell that it was closer, and it did look like you could possibly see part of this island from this like San Clemente area at about 60 miles. So the Mount Rainier from that other situation was just a little bit farther. So those are the two longest sightings. If anybody can actually document something that's verifiable, that's a distance longer than that, you will have a world record.
Yeah, we'll
for
share
the
it.
longest ground observation. Yeah.
So, a thought just came to mind for me. Now that we're through this ridiculous nonsense here, you know what we should do? We should, now that we're using Beyond Flat Earth again, let's do some remakes. Remember the flow charts that we had built? Let's redo those flow charts. Show people how conspiracies are inside of conspiracies. What are the other really interesting things that we used to do on there? We can start to talk about this virtual reality again. Let's start doing some podcasts explaining the virtual reality proofs. Let's have fun here. Let's start putting out good content. Let's stop having to deal with these guys. Anyone wants to go ahead and say whatever names you want to call me, go right ahead. You want to say this about Jason, but please actually represent what we say correctly. Don't be a coward. Don't be a misleader. Do something with honesty. Take pride in what you make on YouTube. Put up the truth. Please. That's all I ask. I don't want to do this nonsense, but we will. We have to defend ourselves. And if you want to call me a faggot, any of you, Jake, Q, come and tell me to my face. Okay? Because just remember, if you want to insult me like that, because I think, not that if you want to be gay, that's your choice. I know that it's absolutely wrong. It's against the Creator's will.
He doesn't want that. It's unnatural. I walk on a path of what is natural is what is right. Okay? So I challenge any of you guys, you want to call me this, you want to be this way. If we ever do meet up, though, if we ever do, you're going to have to pay for those words. And that's the last time I'm going to bring this up.
All right. Yeah, we can do more of the stuff that we did back in the beginning, but make it new and fresh and modern. And but we really were covering these same topics 5 years ago. It was only for like a month or so that we went from showing the map on a macro scale to the micro scale, person's personal circle of sight. And it wasn't until the Andrew Marsh site came along that we felt like we could really show people what's happening in a person's circle of sight. This really helps. If you can't visualize what's going on with this, then there's nothing that can be done for you, because this is pretty specific.
Yeah.
You can reload this city image and put a different image using this program here.
Mm-hmm.
It casts the shadow. It shows you exact sun position anywhere on Earth, any day of the year, and any time. So
yeah. So there's
plus all the twilight times, the rise set angles, the daylight hours, all that.
And you know, everybody that tunes in, you know, leave a comment. What would you like to see? So again, Jason and I on Beyond Flat Earth, if you guys scroll back, you're going to see a huge wide range of variety of topics that we've covered. Why don't you guys get involved and say, why don't you guys do this? The first thing that came to mind was explaining the flow chart, because that was super important, and I know it made a huge impact on a lot of people in the truth movement back then. And I thought, why don't we do an updated version? You never did finish that flow chart, and you lost the program or the folder of it, right? Which is rare for you to do. I would really enjoy going back in time and redoing that with higher quality stuff, showing people how the direct path of truth is always the best way to go. And we can show it definitively with flow charts and things that we encountered, like conspiracies inside of conspiracies. And these are things that I think is empowering to people, not having to deal with these nonsense shills, you know. And thank you to anybody that's restreaming this stream. You know, I don't care if you want to call me out. If you're sharing our content, thank you. I hope you know that I appreciate that.
Yeah. Well, I think that's all I really got for tonight. Not sure exactly what our schedule is going to be like going forward. This summertime, we told people be prepared for us. We're going to be working a lot, and we won't be on our regular schedule. So it's going to be sort of spotty. And then come the fall festival, we will we'll take some time off. We'll be able to do a whole bunch of nice high quality content. This winter, it's not going to be like last winter. We'll probably still be able to keep a pretty regular schedule, but we are still going to work more than we did last year. So
yeah, inflation, you know, things are getting expensive, right?
Yeah, just be prepared, everybody, that it's not going to be, you know, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday, 3 times a week the way it used to be. It's going to be a little bit spottier. YouTube's super against us. Like right now, my computer's not allowed to live stream. Only Ronnie's can, but he's got a community guideline strike on his Ronnie Shine right now. He lost his Limitless channel, and like he said earlier, he's just been blocked. Google is not allowing him to use YouTube through Chrome. He can't do it. He's blocked from it.
I got banned today from using Google Chrome. That's what's up. But you can catch the Rise and Grind podcasts. There'll be another one on Friday on just the word Limitless. You can see it's the channel I used in the chat tonight. I'll be back Friday morning. If you guys want other content, we do that. And yeah, I'm just looking forward to covering some good stuff. I want to do a throwback. I want to share with people the other stuff that we found. And yeah, thanks for tuning in tonight. I hope I didn't ramble too much. I feel like a little disheveled. I think I talked too much, but you know what? I did enjoy the time together, and I'm thankful. Thank you to Q. Thank you to Jake the Asshole. Thank you to Sean Hawkins. Thank you to anybody that actually shared our content, because there's a chance that somebody's going to click on it just by chance. And thanks to you, they're going to find the truth.
Yeah. All right. Well, it's been great. Thank you, brother. It's been fun. And I guess we'll see you all soon.
Where'd they hear this? You want me to say it? Only Beyond Flat Earth. Screens. No.
I'm the guy that's running this new setup, see? I gotta have it at my fingers' ends if I'm gonna do it right. Let 'em have it. Touching this pretty mug but me. I wouldn't even trust you with that dope. It's dynamite. New setup, see? I'll check up on the details later. I'm the guy that's running this new setup, see? I'll check up on the details later. New setup, see? I'll check up on the details later.